Like a trail cam. Take one.
All right, so this year I threw up a trail camera in a general area on public land. It's an area that I like to hunt, and it's heavily pressured, lots of roads, but I've seen some elk there in the past, and I wanted to throw it up on a trail. So I found two trails converging into this timber pocket, and it's a timber pocket surrounded by a sagebrush flat. One of the things I really like about the trail cameras is that you get to see critters in their natural environment. You get to see how they move and, react to everything without any human interference. A lot of times when I see elk, they're running the opposite way. So without further ado, let's get to some of these clips. So I set this camera up again on the 24th in the morning, and as you can see, a few hours later, at 4 p.m. we got this really nice bull coming in. There's some cows, but just a really cool bull elk, nice mass. It seems like he's with some cows, so he's probably, this is a small little harem of cows that he's got. Cool footage, real close to the camera. It's just a really nice bull for this area that gets heavily pressured. A little bit later that day, we have another nice little raghorn coming in, and he's out there looking for some love. So this little raghorn, who knows, I'm sure he added his genes to the pool this year, but he's looking for some love here. All right, so this one's pretty interesting and really unfortunate, and it's, I'm not gonna go into ethics about where, when, how to shoot deer with archery equipment. Just really unfortunate here. Like, buck has a arrow in it, like it looks like buried to the fletching. Like, you can tell he's been wearing that for a little bit. But we'll say, stick around for a minute or so. I want to show you something else. We have another nice bull come through. And I can't tell, I'm pretty sure this is a different bull than the first bull we saw, but just real cool light on him, coming through, sniffing, doing his thing. A few hours later, there's some cows coming through with their calves. Super cool footage, real close, walking on that trail. And then the next day we have this goofy looking raghorn coming through again. Just kind of being a goofball, turning around, running away. And then a few moments later, a spike bull comes in. Next we have another bull that I don't think I got any footage of before, but there's an interesting mark on his shoulder, and I don't know if that's from fighting from a bull or if somebody made a bad shot, but you can see he's kind of limping there. He just looks beat up, and these bulls have, they've been through the peak rut, they've fought. This is kind of looks malnourished to my eyes. I mean, I'm not a biologist or anything. It's just cool to see these warriors after a whole month of rutting and what their body goes through. What does a fox say? Oh no, and then this is a UFO. It's the aliens coming to get us. Actually, I just think it's a spider going through. And then we got our fox buddy coming through again, late night, looking for some snacks. So this is pretty interesting. This is that deer that I saw almost a month earlier. And you can see he's fully recovered, walking around. I want to say it's probably a 2-year-old buck. And it's just kind of like I said earlier, very unfortunate. I don't want to speak on the ethics of what's an ethical shot, what's not an ethical shot. Who knows what happened in this situation? But it's pretty interesting to see this guy out moving and just kind of shaking off a broadhead and an arrow to the shoulder. And there's a cool bull moose coming in. On the 5th, I did get a video of this elk. I'm pretty sure it's the same elk that I showed you earlier, the first elk. He's definitely rubbing on some sappy trees, and he's got those really cool dark horns. Another raghorn late at night. A few hunters coming through. You can tell, rifle season's open. People are trying to come in, hunt, and then one more, and then there's me coming on the 27th. So really the sightings went down a lot. The 17th is the last time I got an elk on camera. 10 days later, I come in at the end of the season, pick up my trail camera. So a few of the things that I learned from this was it kind of confirmed that this is an archery spot. I wouldn't spend a lot of time hunting here in the rifle seasons. The hunting pressure picks up. There's a lot more people in the woods and it's easily accessible. And then this is kind of just like a lesson learned, and this is the biggest takeaway I got from pulling this trail camera, was that like I had hunted the early part of the season with Randy. We had struggled and we had some opportunities to kill elk, but mostly like we had a hard time, and I had been beaten down, so I had just like given it a couple weeks, and then I went out and like I saw an elk. I heard bugles that night as I was driving in. And I got to my camping spot, high expectations, start bugling in the morning, nothing. Don't see an elk, don't see tracks, hardly any sign. I hang my camera. I got discouraged and I went home, and that is a big regret of mine. If I would have just stuck around, I may have gotten an opportunity at one of those bulls. So the big takeaway is like, when things get difficult, when things get hard, just keep on pushing because it's going to get better. And like in this case, if I would have just waited a few more hours, I may have had an opportunity. So same thing in fishing. It seems like every time I'm sitting in a hole and I haven't caught a fish, you know, it's been an hour and I haven't caught a fish. And I think, you know what, let's go find another spot. If I just change something up or just stick with it a little bit longer, I wind up catching a fish. So that's kind of the lessons I learned this year from my trail camera. I just want to share with you guys some cool footage, really. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a wonderful day.